Hey everybody, I'm going to start a different stream also of the original Strategic Command World War II War in Europe as the Axis, and I may also play the Allies later on if I have the time. But like I said, whenever I do decide to play these games, I'm just going to record them so you can watch how I play. And I always apply the same strategy. Now this here is the latest version 1.15. And I have made a video pointing out what I believe I found a big error and a bug. But it's not going to affect the way I play this game because it refers to Vichy. And as the Germans, I am going to, of course, allow France to Vichy, so it shouldn't be a problem. And everything should be fine, even if they do an update. Hopefully they can assess it, and if my assessment is correct, they're going to do an update. And the thing is, once an update is done, whatever game you started is from the original. So it doesn't, but it's not going to matter in this case. Now, why I'm doing this one here, I am doing the World at War. Also, I'm going to play that through, and it's at version 1.00. And it's going to stay that way, even though they had an update. So, but the save game is one, and I'm going to continue at that. So whatever errors they correct, but it shouldn't affect the grand strategy overall. And I'm going to do this one here as the Axis to start with, but I'm going to do some things a little different because playing it at the normal level is actually very easy. And you can probably achieve that if you do exactly what I do here almost 100% of the time. But since I'm playing this and I'm broadcasting it, I'm going to change a few things and make it a little more interesting. And if I get to a point where I feel like I cannot win as the Axis, then I'm going to admit defeat at that point. Or if it's clear that it's going to be an easy win, I'm going to admit defeat. Okay, some people have asked me, well, will your strategy work with the difficulty? And I said, yes, it would, but you have to really, really be a lot slicker and all that. And I'm going to give the computer some bonuses, and this is going to change the game quite a bit, but it should not change the overall strategy or make that much of a difference. It's just going to be, I'm going to have to do a few more things a little better and be a little more precise on my timing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the computer +2 spotting. This is huge because that way the computer is going to be able to know where a lot of my units are, and it's going to react accordingly to its best defense, as far as the country being invaded, to protect the capital, even if it has to move units around. It's going to see more things and be able to react. And I'm also going to give it 20% extra income. That's going to make a difference too, but not that huge of a difference as far, like if I successfully invade Britain, and like I said earlier, the war with the Soviet is a mathematical grind for the Germans. This will still be a mathematical grind for the Germans. It's going to be a little tougher, maybe take a little while longer to take the objectives, but it's doable. But this +2 spotting is going to be very critical to the AI's advantage in the early game because my strategy is to capture Great Britain. And this is where it's going to help the AI more, is to defend England better, hopefully. Because at 0, I can invade England at all times. And like I said, this is Expert 100% gives the AI ridiculous experience. So we're not going to do that. And the reason I don't like to do this in this type of a game is then you're at a complete disadvantage. First of all, it's unrealistic for these units to, when they get trained or built, to be at additional AI unit experience. Because you are forced to fight them. This is a strategic game, and you are forced to fight them. Now, unlike when you play the tactical games like Rome Total War, you can play them at legendary difficulty because the units are buffed up ridiculously high. But on a tactical battlefield, you have the choice to avoid contact and just outmaneuver those units and gang up on them one by one. As many videos on YouTube show, especially by Legend of Total War, you have the opportunity to outsmart the AI. But with +2 experience here, you don't. The unit's going to be brought up to a front. It's going to be adjacent to your unit, and it's going to have a huge advantage. And you just have to be super, super, super ridiculously good. And it's so unrealistic. But I am going to give the computer +2 spotting bonus and +20 MPP. And that should make the game more interesting and challenging. So let's get started. And I'm going to use the same fog of war and everything. And let's get to this. And here we are, ready to begin Panzers forward. And let's see if the Royal Navy or Great Britain completely stifles my invasion of Britain. So we'll see. But I'm going to try my best to do it. But I think with that extra +2 spotting, they're going to be able to see everything and react before I can even, do anything stealthily, as I always do. But if you do exactly as I do a normal difficulty, you'll succeed in invading Britain. And hopefully in my videos, you kind of already have an idea how I do it. I'm going to explain it here. The setup to once you capture, when you attack France, were certain units to what city they should be striving for and get ready to set up an upgrade for the Operation Sea Lion. But this is going to be a little more interesting, especially with the invasion of England. All right, like I said, I always do is start with the naval units. I do not fight the convoy war. I move towards Norway. And let's take a look over here, the submarine. Let's put that one over here. And I always like to upgrade my fighters that are close to the Western Front because you're going to be engaging the RAF on clear weather. And I do like to try to do as much damage to the RAF as possible. So in this case, I do this. All right, over here on the Western Front, the French are very passive behind their Maginot Line. So I will move this army up here. And I will just move this army down here because there's a resource hex. And now the French could just come right through here next turn and just walk into Berlin. All right, I have a destroyer and a cruiser which could use some upgrading. I do while they sit in port, like to upgrade these units. Let's bring this one over here. Said I want to keep them in the Baltic Sea for now. But it doesn't hurt to. How much does that cost? 13. I mean, Germany doesn't have much. Do I have enough to upgrade the destroyer? Perfect. So I got a couple upgrades here. There's one more over here. Then the Kriegsmarine is upgraded. The submarines, I don't think they have enough technology. And I'm not going to look at research until the next turn when I start getting something. And let's go to Italy. Like I told you, my Italian strategy is to get as much to Tobruk as quickly as possible so that when the war with Britain begins, we just start marching into Egypt. And there's a lot more space to work with here. Okay, let's move this garrison unit. That's going to be moving towards Tobruk. This one's eventually going to move. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 armies, 1 tank unit, and one headquarters to go to Libya. I think another headquarters will be produced. I'm going to send that to Libya too. So in the beginning, let's reinforce, and we're down to 4. Ugh. Very little money for Italy. Let's send the cruisers. Let's put the destroyers up here. He can stay in port to repair later on. That's going to be a time for this. Let's just go here. Let's move the battleship. Submarine can move here to eventually get stronger and kind of guard anything. Just watch for anything that's going to dare to come through here. I think, okay, this one's going to eventually move to Tripoli. Cagliari garrison's going to move to Sicily. And I'm just going to move things around. Let's move this one close to the port because this one's going to be going to Libya. We got to do this as quickly as possible. And there goes turn number 1 with Italy. We're done. We're done spending for Germany. What does Germany have left to do? Oh yeah, we gotta. Oh, we're with Poland. Yeah, okay, duh. We have to attack Poland. How do I remember doing this? Warsaw in 2 turns. Try to keep your key units on railroad tracks so we can operate west as quickly as possible, but yet get to Warsaw in 2 turns. That's very important. And of course, with the AI having that extra spotting, it's going to be able to react a little better. It's going to see more of my units. So let's get to the invasion of Poland. All right, my first thing that I always do is I use my bombers. Let's start with this one to bomb this, weaken this one here. We have some interceptors. Okay, that didn't do much. Let's use the second one. Nice job. Stukas did very, very nicely here. And now I move this army down. I didn't expose anything, so... This one gets eliminated. Okay, let's move slowly. And Modlin, we're up against the Modlin fortress. That's okay. And now I can move. Huh. You know what? First, you want to attack with the fighter unit because it will expose a 2 hex radius here. Watch this. See, whenever 2 hexes get exposed, see, now I expose this unit here. So, if I gone this way, I would have been stopped. So now I can go this way and get right adjacent to Warsaw. Could have probably attacked this area unit, but that's okay. I'd rather get adjacent to Warsaw this way, because then no Polish unit can occupy this, and next turn I can move, either attack this way, attack and move, and then let the other unit come down and guarantee a capture of Warsaw. Because I don't have any more movement, so I'm already adjacent to Warsaw here. So this battle went pretty well. Of course, I want to move the headquarter units closer to the unit, to these guys. and be on a railroad track. That's important. You always have to prepare for the move west, so get them on the railroad track if you can, at least by turn 2. Now over here, I like to use, wow. See, there's so many decisions to make. Do you attack it with the air unit first? I mean, there's so many ways to do this thing correctly. You still got a fighter unit and also a bomber unit. So this has excellent odds, 1 to 4. But then is it going to be enough? Well, let's blow this thing to pieces. Now, can I destroy it? Yes. Move up behind towards the railroad track. Now I want to move this one back here to keep him from retreating. Okay, now with this one, attack here. And now I can move the Panzer into loads. That's usually how I do this. And this one's probably going to move up, and my Panzer will be able to destroy. I'll be able to bombard Warsaw and capture it with one of these units, but it's critical to keep the Panzer on the railroad track. Don't let him go off. Ideal the next turn for the Panzer to attack this hex right here when the Polish unit comes, and that's it. Czestochowa. Hit this cavalry unit. Now let's move back here. Eliminate the cav. And let's move another hex up here. Thus, if the Panzer destroys the unit here, I believe this unit can go adjacent to Warsaw and attack also. Let's move the headquarters up. Once again, let the headquarters assist, but let it be on a railroad track. Bring the bomber up here, a little closer to Warsaw. This fighter can start flying westwards. It's not needed in Poland anymore. Like I said, if you can start moving units, can't operate yet, but I can move. Okay, this one in Ostrava. Okay, it exposed the Krakow unit. That's what I wanted to do. Get them on another railroad track, but expose. Anytime you move, I think you can aircraft expose at 2 hex radius, and which means okay, took care of Krakow. Okay, keep him on the hex here. So I've already eliminated quite a few Polish units. Golice. I don't think that's going to be necessary. Why lose units? Let's move to railroad track. Let's move to railroad track. Let's Slovak unit. Keep the Golice unit occupied. These have weapons of 1. Why waste such good units? since the Polish War is almost done. And what else we got? The southern front has been attacked. The front from East Prussia has been attacked. And now what we have left is up here. And I usually move this unit, occupy Danzig, and attack the cavalry unit. I'll move the Panzer unit here. I'll usually eliminate this unit, and I move to Torun. It's on the railroad track, and if anything moves back here, it can be used the next turn to either eliminate an extra unit or, yeah, I usually start operating them on turn 3, the Panzers. So let's move here. Keep this guy Bydgoszcz. This one already struck, so keep him in a city, cut off this Polish unit here. And let's move this one towards a railroad track again. And attack. I mean, what more can you ask for? Attack and be on a railroad track also. So, let's move this unit. Move this air unit closer. I think it can strike Warsaw from there. Let's move this one to Neustädtin. It's all on a railroad track. Let's just take a quick look here. Okay, expose the Poznan army. Let's just get adjacent to it, just so it doesn't get any ideas to retreat or do anything, and it's still on a railroad track for later. No, I can't do anything over here. And this one's cut off. I don't think the fighters are going to be necessary, so they can move. Just start moving the other direction. I have my units exactly where I want them. So, I guess once again it's the AI's turn now. I've done everything I can for Germany that I want. Okay, Warsaw on 2, that's the goal. And I think I've done that. There's no Asia here to look for. It's all Deutschland and Italy. So that should move quicker. Let's get to it. Okay. Okay, I say no. But let's take a look at the lieutenant. It says complete its training. I haven't tested it out. Is it better to receive the 50 and then rebuild it yourself? I've never had a problem because the Flieger division comes in fully equipped and built right at the time that I need it. So I always say no here. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference. Complete its training information. In which case it'll do it. Okay, it's still going to deploy in Hamburg, so Would you therefore like to deploy the understrength at Breslau now? Well, then I'd have to. It probably would cost just as much to retrain, so it's probably better it just appears at full strength at the later date when I need it. Because the weather's probably going to be bad earlier, and it usually turns just right when I drop it. So if you say yes, you will receive 50 MPPs. Let's just say no and let it come to full strength later. Oh no. Oh no, the French declare war. I don't know if I can handle that. All right, keep on industrializing. At least 69, that's very little income. Let's do turn 2. Up to the fall of Poland. Okay, I knew that unit was going to go there. The French are fortifying the Maginot Line as best as they can. That Polish unit is completely out of supply. Canada declares war. I mean, it tells you, Katie, investing in amphibious warfare technology, that can take too long and that's too much, but you don't really want to do that because it's not going to be that important if you invade Britain early. Now, if you invade Britain later, where the beaches are just loaded with units, you're going to need technology number 5, the highest, to be able to make any headway. But with the early invasion, you don't need to invest in anything here. Preparing airborne forces to drop on English soil with the invasion? Yes, to a certain degree. And securing a port that supplies, it tells you how to do that. You need to secure a port. And my port is usually always Portsmouth. Or if something becomes available, but it's doubtful that it's going to be, anything's going to be available, I'm going to have to attack a port. I'm not going to get lucky in this game like in the World at War. This is a little different. These ports get covered no matter how early you play. All right, let's get back down with Poland. And Poland is to the attack on Warsaw. Got 1, 2, 3. Okay, Warsaw is occupied. Okay, let's attack this. I do want to kill some more units. Okay, the Kutna unit is not good. Okay, let's... I'm going to move him over here. That's what I wanted to do with the Kutna unit. Don't suffer any casualties. There we go, shattered. Since this one already attacked, it can occupy Kutma. And now I have both 9-strength panzer units on railroad tracks. That's very important. Now let's take some good units here. Okay, we have 226 points. Back to the railroad. Okay, we eliminated another unit. That's important. You got to try to kill as many units as you can. Since this one is not on a railroad track, I'll let it attack Krakow. And now, let's start operating units towards the Dutch border. Let's reinforce this one. This one will be attacking towards Belgium. Let's upgrade this corps with infantry weapons. I'm not going to do mobility yet. That's costly, but 8 with infantry weapons is good. Let's move this one up here towards the railroad for next turn. Krakow's occupied. Okay, this one attacked this. Okay, let's move some armies. This army cannot move, but this army can move. Operate. Operate this army to the Dutch border. Let's operate a headquarters. Start moving fighters and okay, this one's already bombers. Okay, these got to go next turn. I already got a fighter close. I have to do this right because even in the next turn where I put the units, place the units, it's going to be critical. All right, let's move the fleets before I look at Poland again. And let's go to Italy real quickly because that's very easy to do. Reinforce. You want to reinforce the headquarters as soon as possible, too. Let's get them up to here, close to Tobruk. But our goal is to get the headquarters. Let's reinforce the armor. That's about it for Italy right now. Next turn we start moving by transport. Cruiser go in here. Let's save that money for the army of Libya. Okay, I had to use all the bombers. Got 49 left. Can I move? Okay, got 3. I can begin the invasion of the Netherlands. No, that one's going to upgrade next turn. Do I really want to waste any? Operate at 21. I think I can operate 2 more units. Why not? With 1 infantry weapons? Yeah, let's operate 1 more. See, the more I got towards the Dutch-Belgian border, the better. Because I think when Belgium declares war, I'm going to be able to jump on Belgium. Yeah, these are going to go down towards northern Belgium. And these weaker units here, they're going to finally take the Hague. It'll take a couple turns, but who cares? Let's move these in here for now. And can I do anything else? Oh, I can start moving. Keep them on railroad tracks, railroad track, railroad track, railroad track, railroad track, but it's slow. Everything's on railroad tracks. It's important that I move the panzers next turn to Luxembourg border. That's very important because they can start their offensive on turn 4. Hopefully this is enough for Warsaw to stay up. There should be enough Polish units destroyed. I'm not going to use the Slovak here. Everything check. I think the invasion of Poland went as well as I can expect. Italy is just a slow process, but telling you the way I play this, when you get Italy, all the Italian units will be just in time to attack Egypt when Italy declares war, if you do this right. Like I said, this game's a little more challenging now with the extra spotting, so that's going to be really critical when I decide to invade England or even the invasion of France. See how it plays out. All right, I think everything has moved that can move. No, I don't want to. I don't think that's necessary. So let's hope Poland surrenders. All right, let's go to the next turn. Red Army begins crossing. That's got to be demoralizing. Yes, we honor the Ribbentrop Pact. Poland surrenders. Excellent. Plunder time, that's what I want. I wanted that plunder as early as possible. That means plenty of money to operate westwards. Nice. Get Danzig. Poland is complete. French strengthened the Maginot Line. That means the British is starting to move their BEF. French morale suffers when Germans said the British expeditionary force arrives in France. Would you like to offer this revised borders of French retreat to USSR? Yes. Gives you a little extra territory. And you don't have the Soviets right at you at Warsaw. The only thing you do is you do any claim to Lithuania, Germany no longer has, but you do gonna get some extra land here. And you don't want Warsaw to be, the Russians to be so close to Warsaw. Okay, see, Germany has 537, so there's plenty of money to do some things. And we're immediately going to start the war with Holland. And the purpose is not to take Hague in one turn. The real purpose is when you start attacking Holland, Belgium will get into the war. And that means the British units and French units are going to move into Belgium. And of course, the lovely little Ardennes offensive is going to become more effective. This is why I will operate those 2 panzer units right against Luxembourg. But let's just do Italy really quickly because it has 85. And what I do is transport, get that headquarters to Tobruk, because then it can upgrade this unit. Reinforce these units. Let's get this army. Oh, we're down to 3 now. No spending at all. Okay. Next turn will be more reinforcement. It's going to be this one, and then we're going to transport this one. Transport this one, and we're going to get them all against the the Egyptian border as quickly as possible. Well, Germany's going to start its attack in the west, like right now. But first, it's going to have to try to get as many units over. And with that nice little bonus of 537 MPPs, you can pretty much operate as much as you can. And do maybe a little upgrading in the air units. But you can get everything pretty much to the Western Front this turn and just start hammering the following turn. And hopefully Belgium will declare war, and you get a first shot at the Belgians. Okay, and I'm going to say that's it for the episode. And until next time, hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much.